Hands up. Port arms. Present arms. Order. Order.
Good morning. I checked my watch. It's still in this morning today. I'm Captain Woody Hughes, and I've met some of you already. I serve as chaplain for the Lake County Military Funeral Honors Team. This is a team made up of all volunteers, all veterans of the various branches of the armed forces of the United States. There are a few dates in American history that are remembered as vividly as December 7th. 1941. That was the day that lives in infamy, as President Roosevelt once said. That was the day that the greatest generation, as Tom Brokaw called them in his book by the same title, put aside their own wants and needs and pulled together to face an enemy that stood diametrically opposed to everything this country held close to their hearts and had ingrained in their souls. Woefully unprepared for war, just emerging from the worst depression in American history, the citizens of America united, sacrificed, and died not only to keep America free, but to give the nations of the world the chance to be free. The World War II generation accepted the torch of freedom handed to them with love and pride. That torch was protected by all those who served in the military, by those who paid the ultimate price, and by those who gave their sons and daughters, fathers, brothers, and husbands to keep America free. From 1941 to 1945, 16 million men and women wore the uniform of the armed forces of the United States of America. Millions of them stared death in the face in places like Anzio, Bataan, Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, Omaha Beach, in the skies over Japan, France, and Germany, and in all of the 7 seas. Foreign soil and the great deep became the final resting place for more than 400,000 of them. President John F. Kennedy once said, "A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces, but also by the men it honors, the men it remembers." Today we're here to honor such a one, Peter Von Rice, who passed away 1 week ago today. We veterans are here to pay tribute to him because he too was a veteran. He was one of those mentioned earlier who answered his country's call to duty during World War II. He served in the U.S. Navy for 14 years during and after the war, and finally retiring from the Naval Reserve. Why should we honor veterans? I believe there are at least 2 reasons. First, for the future of our military, we need to remember those who have served in the past. As George Washington, our first commander-in-chief, said, "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional as to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their nation." And second is the realization that because of the great sacrifices made by so many men and women who served in the armed forces in the past, we are able to live in a time and a place where freedom is taken for granted. The great King Solomon of long ago wrote the following insight: "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die." And now the time has come to pay honor to a fallen comrade, to remember him because he deserves to be remembered and honored for the service that he rendered to this nation in the cause of freedom. We honor him as a brother in arms. It was William Shakespeare who first said in King Henry V, "We shall be remembered, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers." All too often, it seems, we are called upon to say a sad farewell to a fallen comrade. As the years roll on, we too will have finished our fight and shall answer that final roll call. Until then, may we so live that when our time comes, those we leave behind may say of us as we say now of this departed comrade, he was an honorable man, a staunch patriot, a faithful defender of freedom. Let us who remain remember that freedom is never free. All veterans gave some, and some gave all to ensure the freedom that we cherish. The honor team will render the traditional military salute to a fallen comrade, which consists of the firing of 3 rifle volleys, followed by the playing of taps. Veterans may render the hand salute during taps, and all others, please place your right hand over your heart in respect to our flag, in respect to our country, and respect for this dearly departed. After the playing of taps, these 2 members of the U.S. Navy will fold and present the flag. Now let me caution you that even though they're way over there, these rifles are very loud and they can give you quite a start if you aren't prepared. Firing party commander, take charge and render the appropriate salute.
Detail. Hands up. Port arms. Safety's off. Ready. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire. Present. Arms. scale. And hook. Port arms.
On behalf of the President of the United States Navy, and a grateful nation, please accept this flag as a symbol